Said I'm so fly, just like the insect. Rocket over twin jet. Face to face with me, already know you get a chin check. Fantastic,
well,
like my
welcome to this week's episode of The Oddcast. Today we have an amazing guest. There's many things that this guest is, but I'm gonna give you a few. Actor, photographer, editor, divine activist for human rights, vibe conductor, fashionista, king. Yeah, this is Danté. Danté, you wanna say hi?
Hello, everybody. That was a divine introduction. Thank you.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
Happy to have you.
Happy to be an activist for human rights and a lover of humanity. A vibe conductor.
Vibe conductor.
I resonate with all of those things.
You look in previous episodes to see what a vibe conductor is. You're like,
I get it. I feel like it's pretty
tell
straightforward.
me your definition of a vibe.
A vibe conductor, the person who conducts the vibe. Come on now, what are you talking
So
about?
you're not riding a train and checking people's vibes. You're not
No.
stopping people for tickets and checking their vibe meter.
I mean, I possibly could be the vibe conductor. Choo choo chugga choo choo. I'm on the train of the vibe, and but still, I'm the one who's conducting the vibe.
Indeed.
I'm taking you on a ride, and I'm the person who's like, all right, everybody, vibe 1, we're going to go to vibe 2, vibe 3. And I usually do that with my music, sometimes with my jokes, but a lot of the times it has to do with my energy. So I would say I'm the vibe conductor simply by being
The vibe.
the vibe.
So you are just energy. So I'm not really talking to that physical thing. Yeah, I'm talking to a energy, and you just so happen to form around your clothes. And can you shapeshift?
I mean, I'm always shapeshifting. We're always shapeshifting, always growing. Our cells are literally moving all the time, every second. Every 7 years, we have entirely new set of cells inside our body. We're shapeshifting all the time. Yes, I'm just a ball of energy in this form, in this body. But this body is the only way that you're going to be able to perceive my form. Well, I guess you got my voice. You got all these other sensory ways to perceive my form. But even then, your perception is not my form. So the best I can do is to express it through all of the things, all the tools, all the words, all the gestures. But today, in this podcast, you're going to have to understand my form simply through my voice.
Indubitably. And your animated form.
Oh, yeah, and my animated form, that's right.
But let's get to it. I wanted to start off by asking how you been.
How have I been since?
How you been since the original episode? Yes, we're
the original episode. I have been living. I've been good. I've been bad. I've been sad. I've been happy. I've been glad. I've been grateful. A lot of gratitude.
Gratitude.
Where do I begin? Was that in the summer?
Yeah, it was in the middle of summertime, baby.
Like before August?
It was before August.
Okay, so
No. It was
it wasn't September though, right?
It was beginning of September because you were talking to me about other plans that you had.
Like moving to California.
Yeah, and you were showing me the magic trick in the January.
I don't think it was the beginning of September only because the very first week of September is when like my life was starting to change editing wise as an editor. I started getting I got a raise in August at this company that I work for where I edit for other photographers for different event photography. And in September, I started getting put on more on-site editing jobs where I'm actually at the event, on-site editing as the photographer is shooting. And at the end of the event, I've edited everything. There are selects made for the clients and things are ready to go.
Can I ask you something before we move on?
Yeah.
From 1 to, damn, how stressful is that? Or is it stressful at all for you?
It's not stressful anymore for me. I have a good flow. I know what I'm doing, and I know what I need to do, and I know enough to navigate the things that I don't know. But all last year when people, thank you. All last year when people were telling me about on-site editing, it scared me. I was like, how am I gonna ever? Like, I can barely edit like 300 photos in like 4 hours. How am I gonna edit a photographer who's constantly shooting stuff like in 3 hours and have it all done? That didn't seem possible to me last year. But in September, they literally just threw me into the ring of fire. They gave me 16 days back to back on-site editing. I edited at the MoMA. I edited for galas. I edited for
Wow.
for like because Fashion Week was happening in September, so I was editing for a bunch of different fashion shows, and so I was running around the city, doing on-site editing, learning as I went and figuring it out. My very first day that I edited, I think they set me up pretty well. The very first day that I did on-site editing, I also had 4 other editors at the space helping me.
Same level or
Same level in terms of pay.
or whatever duties you guys had.
Oh no, yeah, same level,
Okay.
like same job. We were all doing the same job.
Wow. You need 4 editors for the event.
For the
That's
event,
nuts.
yeah, 4 editors, 4 photographers, and they're much more seasoned than I have been at this company for a much longer time. And so while we're editing and going through things and we're sending things off, I'm kind of just learning from their processes, and that helped me for the next couple days. And then I was doing it all by myself. Nobody was around me. It was just me and the photographer, and I was editing. And some things that I learned was how to communicate with the client, how to make the client at ease, how to make sure that the client, even when they don't know what they want, try to guide them to what's right about the photos. Because at the end of the night, most nights, I have to sit with the client, go through all the images, and they have to select their photos. And that process is called a kills gallery and then a regular gallery. The kills gallery is all the things that they don't choose, but I still need to edit. I still need to name it. I still need to organize it in the gallery.
That's fair. Why do you need to still edit it if it's gonna get killed?
They're gonna kill it, but they might want it later. So it's a might want it later.
Hey,
I have to make a whole
crazy.
nother gallery just in case they want those photos. So,
Gratitude.
work the best case scenario is I have a public gallery or private gallery of under 100 images. I have maybe 15 to 20 guests and like maybe 100 kills. I'm trying to edit everything before I leave, but normally I don't get to finish everything before. I probably have I've probably edited everything, but I haven't named everybody. I haven't organized the gallery yet. Those things still have to happen. But that's to say that in September, things were starting to change financially and productively in that realm.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Because it's an interesting time right now in the financial space for a lot of us.
Yeah.
And in this whole, stupid country.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been with this company for 2 years.
Wow.
And so to only now for something to have shifted this year is crazy. Because before I was making maybe like $200 every couple months with them. And then that all meant I was changing to making over $1,000 with them in 1 month. I was like, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's not my only job, but making that.
That's that's definitely a nice side thing to come along for sure.
Right. I mean, now it's more than $3K a month
Wow.
with them. So it's really nice. But the thing about it, it's still technically a freelance job. So I'm still on call for them. So I won't know how much I'm gonna make next month. I don't know how much I'm gonna make the next month. But when I am working, I'm working.
Yeah.
So there was that happened in September. And then I had decided that I was gonna stay in New York City and not go to California because those were my previous plans.
Yeah.
Because my money was changing, and I was like, maybe I should stay here, see what else is gonna happen with this company, and then collect some money and move a little bit later. So I decided that I was gonna do that.
What's choice?
And so there was a play that my friend had written that she wanted me to be in, but I had previously said no because I was moving. And then the day that I decided that I was gonna stay, the next day Marissa was like, "So are you leaving or staying?" And I was like, "I'm staying." She's like, "Okay, well, we're about to cast this last role. Can you do it?" I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure." And so right now I'm rehearsing for that play, which goes up in January. And if anybody knows Blue Fire Burns the Hottest, that was the play that I was in last year.
Shout out to Blue Fire. That was really fucking good.
I love that show. And so to work with Marissa again is just a blessing. So I have the play, I have the editing, and I've also been doing a bunch of these small filmmaking gigs where I would film for different artists in different settings. So for example, a dancer who's in her grad program wanted to make a short film.
Yeah.
And so she was looking for a cinematographer, and so I hopped onto that, which is another story.
We could tell here, we could tell off the air, whatever you like.
We can tell it off the
Indeed.
air.
If you guys want to hear what Danté has to say, please subscribe to my non-Patreon that I don't have right now. Thank you.
So I was doing that. I've been filming for other directors when they want to do rehearsal processes, and so being able to like work with them and kind of like do a lot of documentary things in the filmmaking work, which has been really nice. And then working with my partner Joska, who has this podcast 23, 24, 25 coming out, which you can follow on the Instagram for live updates because it's coming out next Monday.
Wow.
The first episode.
That's exciting.
I did most of the cinematography for it. I did all the editing for the podcast, and I'm still in the process of editing some more episodes. But yeah, we filmed 16 episodes last month. So I was filming
Last
16
month.
episodes November. Yeah, 16 episodes while I was doing one of my busiest months for editing for the photography company. While I was doing the filmmaking for all these different directors and editors, while I was doing the dance thing, I was in a short film with Paula, and then I've been rehearsing for this play. And I have this other film that I'm working on with this director, which we've just been kind of his mind is so vast in his world building, and it's really nice to talk to him, but sometimes he'll have 9 pages written for me, and the next day he'll have 36 pages written for me, and then he'll be like, okay, I'm changing the whole thing, and he'll write a whole new script for me, and I'm just like, this is a lot to dig into. It's really fun.
Yeah.
And it's a lot to dig into. Right now, he's working with this idea of he wants people to question the truth of the film and what's happening in it. So he's thinking about having me have an earpiece in my ear while he feeds me the lines in real time, and I have to like act while
You're getting the lines fed to you. That's nuts.
I think that's amazing. I'm so
That
excited
sounds
about
interesting.
that. Yeah, so I need to read the most updated thing that he sent me and get back to him about it, but I'm excited about that. But in terms of what's been going on with me, November was definitely my busiest month I've had since graduating college.
Wow.
And I graduated in 2021.
Wow. So, well, first of all, congratulations on all the strides you're making in the many fields that you're approaching. Specifically, I'm really, really glad that you're in a better financial place, because living in not a financial place is hell. Specifically speaking to all the people that I've spoken to, a lot of people always feel more centered once they understand that next month's rent is gonna be taken care of, at
Mhm.
least, and it sets you up. From everything that has come to you this past half the year, I think this half of the year things have started shifting. What do you think you have done from your side to prepare for this and or ask for this to occur? Because it wasn't just one thing. It didn't seem like you just kind of like, oopsie doosey, I just fell up and now I'm doing all these things. It seems like these things came to you and you were mentally and spiritually prepared.
Absolutely.
What did you do?
Huh.
What do you recommend people?
I did many things. I have a lot of different manifestation techniques that I do. One of them is pouring libation, which is
You said pouring libation?
libation,
Libation.
L-I-B, libation.
So put it in a life B?
No, but so
Very
libation
strange.
is like is a way of communing with your ancestors,
Mm.
communing with spirit, and giving thanks for where we are and giving thanks for the life that we're living, while also asking for guidance or for what you're looking for.
So, and this is me trying to make sense for myself and
Mhm.
the audience. Are you saying
Mhm.
kind of like the avatar state, in a sense where you speak to them and you ask them for their own perspective and advice on what you should do?
I mean, yeah, I guess it is kind of like that, but it's
You're
not.
like,
It's
"Dang."
not. It's not that dramatic. But so the literal routine is you have a vessel that holds water,
Mm.
and you're pouring out water, and you're saying you want to pour it out into the earth.
Mm.
So either outside or into a vessel, like a bowl, and then you put that. Once you're done pouring libation, like water, into the bowl, you'll take that bowl and you put it out outside into the earth.
Wow.
And so while I'm pouring from my cup into the bowl or to the earth, I'll say thank you to the universe, thank you to love, thank you to my ancestors who've been walking with me, thank you to the formed and unformed, thank you to those who have been walking with me who I do not know, who are here for my highest good. And start off with something in that realm. And then I might say thank you for today, thank you for my air, thank you for my lungs. I'm very grateful for all the guidance that you've been giving me, all the guidance that I've been receiving. Sometimes, like when I'm pouring libation, I might be focused on talking to my higher self rather than speaking specifically to ancestors. It just depends on the intention in the day. But that's one of the practices that I do that's helpful for me, that keeps me grounded and keeps me focused, keeps me open to receiving. Excuse me.
No, you're good.
I also work with this anointing oil for prosperity. It's just a mix of basil and cinnamon. And so I use that kind of daily, rubbing it around my wrists, rubbing it around my wallet, and talking about abundance and how abundance is constantly growing in my life, and how I'm welcoming it into my life, and how abundance is always here. And specifically abundance not only financially, but also with my friends, with my loved ones, with my family, and abundance in general. And that abundance isn't something that comes and goes. Once abundance comes into my life, it stays and it grows. It compounds itself and it continues to get bigger and bigger. So this one I really love doing. This one, I feel like every time I do it, I really see wherever that abundance is present in my life, or wherever it's coming from. Like literally one time I had done it, and then 3 photography jobs came out of the wazoo that same day.
Wow.
Probably they were going to come anyway, but it's just interesting when I choose to do it and aligning myself to be received and to receive. Another thing that's really helpful, which I have been so bad with in general, but when it does happen really well, it happens in a great way, which is networking. I'm not that great at it. I will admit that. It's not a permanent thing.
I'm kind of shocked. I'm not gonna lie to you. You definitely seem like the networking, going to a room and talking.
Oh, not at all. I get so much anxiety.
Oh.
What? I get so much social anxiety, and I don't know what to talk about, and I don't know if what I'm doing is enough, or how to talk about it, or if I'm focused on anything
Can I give you
that's
some
worthy of talking about.
advice? Friendly advice for networking that has worked
Sure.
for me.
Sure.
I tend to get actually the opposite. I get really excited when I'm near people, and I start noticing things, and my brain finds something stupid to bring up to them. And I remember this one time, one of my friends was like, "You're amazing at networking," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "You went up to that guy and asked him, what's the best time to wear a striped sweater?" And the guy answered, "All the time." And then you got this information, and I was like, "Yeah, but that was just because you pointed something out and you made yourself open."
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's not the joke that's necessarily the point, but the point is to literally just start a conversation with anything that you feel comfortable bringing up. And if it doesn't, you could just end up giving somebody a compliment, and that is the end of it. But
Now I have a question.
Yeah, hit me.
Would you consider that networking or socializing?
I consider them intertwined, because to network with somebody, I have to socialize.
Yeah.
And usually I only network with people I do want to socialize, and I do find like we have some kinship. Sometimes you do go for like the big fishes in the room. Hey, I need this. I could offer my skills to you. But most of the time I aim to work with people that I could see myself actually communicating later and actually putting efforts into doing it. So I see them as the same thing, or I see one of them feeding into the other.
I guess I don't think I'm necessarily bad at socializing.
I don't think so, yeah.
Yeah, no. I think when I was thinking about networking, I'm thinking about ways in which I can connect with people that are going to be work partners.
Yeah, like sell your skills too.
Like people, collaborators, future collaborators.
Indeed.
Specifically networking to do that thing. And the reason I said that that's another way that I've gotten where I am is not because I'm a genius at it, but when it does work, it has worked. So an example of this is I did this program called the 24-Hour Play Festivals and 24-Hour Nationals 2 years ago, where a group of actors, writers, and directors, all students of this program, come together, and we have like a week to make a show and then perform it at the end of that week. So really, we're supposed to do it all. The program is a week long, but the actual production is one day. So we get the lines, we get the director, we get the writer all that same day.
Crazy.
And perform it that night. And over time, communicating with them and staying in touch with them, I end up becoming their photographer for a couple of events for future productions. And at one of the events that I was photographing, I saw one of my friends who was in 24 Hours, but also went to school with me, Ali.
Yeah. Shout out to
talking
Ali.
Shout out to Ali. Ali. And I was talking to Ali and catching up with Ali, and well, like, it was a fun conversation. It's also just like good to see her, like good to see my old friend. And then she starts telling me about this place that she's working at, and I was just like throwing out like, well, if you ever need a photographer, like, let me know. And it happened to work out serendipitously because she saw me for like shooting the event. She saw me shooting in my element, and so then that had led to me working for this company called Gradient, which I really love. Gradient does like a lot of live events and creates like these live productions. And one of the first things I did with them was test out this AI camera system, which when I take a picture, people have to upload their face. It's consensual. But once I take a picture of somebody, it will automatically send that photo to their phone and create a gallery for them. And I got to test out with them.
That's
and I got to spend a day with them, like in this mansion upstate. And all that came from this networking, which kind of happened. Like, I wasn't thinking that was going to lead to this. And I'm about to shoot with them later today. That's who I'm shooting with.
That's a side quest. Holy cow!
That whole thing has just opened itself up to me.
So you told me that your technique in networking is basically just being open to the side quest. If you hear somebody saying something, you're interested in that something, and not necessarily looking for a reward from it, but just opening yourself up to the opportunities and to them.
I think yes,
Adventure.
And absolutely, I definitely agree with you. And I think you're making me realize that something that's going on with my ego is that Danté knows
you, Danté.
Me, Danté,
Me.
right? Right.
Oh crap! Flamo
knows that there isn't a main quest per se. Everything is the side quest. It just means you have to engage and indulge in everything, right? But as I lean into that, my ego is like, well, what's your main quest? What's the thing that you're actually going after? Everything can't be a side quest. And I'm like, but it's just the frame of mind, because I think that all of these things are helping me towards my highest good. Whether I can write that down on a piece of paper in one sentence doesn't really matter, as long as I'm continuing to do something that's helping me grow as a person. Of course, I want to be an actor. Of course, I am an actor. Of course, I want to continue acting. Of course, I want to continue being like doing photography and doing all these things. That's what I'm doing. You know, it doesn't have to look like I'm about to open up my own museum of my own photography gallery. Because that sounds like a main quest type of thing, right?
Or the sense of like, oh, this is not helping with my acting, so I must not do it. Right. That's something that a lot of us do fall into, and I sure as hell has fallen into. Interesting.
So I feel like I've actually been doing a pretty good job at embracing the side quests, while also having anxiety and ego just like talking to me along the way, and just kind of like really trying to. Excuse me. That's why the practices are helpful. The practices of pouring libation or praying or whatever is going to help you connect to spirit or the source, and also having different things that help you understand like your nature and what you're doing.
We're coming towards the end of this, so I have one final question. I know. I'm like, what?
That was quick.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't fully editing this by myself. Oh my god. But my final question comes down. For you to do this gratitude practices,
yes,
and connect to the higher self and your ancestors and get this advice, is it about the ritual? Is it about doing it daily for you, or what is the part that you look forward to in it?
I would offer to think about it as stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
So I'm not doing the ritual for ritual's sake. I'm not doing any of the things for the sake of doing it, but one, to help me prepare for when I will have to do a really large project, or when I am having a really large anxiety attack, that I have the practices at my ready, and also in my mind to know that I have been doing the work to help myself. But if I only do it when I'm in distress or when I'm in duress, then I'm going to associate these practices with pain. But I'm going to associate that this is what I do when I need something, rather than I do this consistently and I'm in pain and I can lean on this thing, right? Now, I haven't been doing any of my practices daily. I would like to do them daily, Like that's a goal of mine to do them daily.
What can you do to make them a daily thing for yourself?
What can I do to make them a daily thing for myself? I think it's sometimes it's not always possible because of anxiety, or I'm really tired, or my because I work freelance, my schedule changes a lot. So sometimes I might have, like tonight I'm not gonna be done till midnight, and then tomorrow I'll start at 7, so I might have time to do it tomorrow, but I might want to sleep in. I guess again it's just an idea in my head, but I would love to just do everything in the morning. Like start my day off with these practices, and so that I have the rest of my day for myself. Like sometimes I'll realize how tired I am, and I'm like, if I did some of my practices like meditating, pouring libation, and my manifestations, that I would be in a much better grounded space for the rest of the day. But I'm just too tired to do shit.
That's fair.
I'm just too tired to do any of it right now.
That's fair.
And so that, you know what that means?
What does that mean?
I need to rest. And that in itself is another practice. So for me, it's not about doing it daily, but it is about self-care daily. I think I need to make it a larger scope I need to self-care daily. That I can do daily. And all I need to do that is remind myself and to sit with myself at the beginning of the day, whenever I wake up, and be like, what do I need to start my day? Do I need to rest? Do I need to meditate? Do I need an apple? I need a shower? Do I need to kiss my booba?
You need to take a dump.
Do I need to take a dump?
Some people really, really do not have the luxury of waking up and being like, dude, can I just take a dump and start my day?
Yeah, I was going to be ignorant for a second. I was going to be like, who doesn't have the
yeah, come on, dude. Come on. But in such
a... shit on the street. I got a shit. That's what I mean.
After such a great, introspective, and spiritually engaging conversation, let's end it right there. Danté, you are more than capable. You are doing amazing work. I am really proud of you, and I look up to what you're doing because I feel very akin to you. And when I see you succeeding, it makes me feel like, hell yeah, I could do it too.
Yeah.
I could do it too. I could do it too. And
you are
all of you guys
man.
could do it too. But Danté, thank you for your time. And I'll catch you in this odd world.
Hey, peace out, odd world.
Peace out.